Tony, thanks a lot. I was thinking maybe I should have more birthdays, but then I thought better against that. Let's just try to keep the winning going and not tacking on years.
Yes, that's right. Just keep the winning coming to keep us young. Yes, that's all. That's the key there to staying young is just win. And here we go with a winner for Ramon tonight. This one delegated to FS2, very low distribution. DePaul here to host the Georgetown here. DePaul laying four, total 153 and a half.
Tony, shame on you. Ray Meyer. Ray Meyer is going to walk through that door any moment. Right behind him will be Coach Thompson's, elder Coach Thompson. They'll rescue this game. All right, we'll dial it back to 1982. You just watch it. uh, Tonight, Tony, though, not so much with Georgetown and DePaul. It's not 1982 anymore, and these teams aren't very good in the Big East, but I think I've found a winner for us with maybe the Blue Demons here tonight at home laying the points against the Hoyas. The Hoyas have had a little bit of success, but neither of these teams are really transferring their success onto the road right now. The Hoyas have lost all three of their road games straight up. They did lead UConn. That was impressive. They led them in the second half, which was hasn't happened very often this season to the Huskies, but the Huskies blew right by them. Ended up winning by 11. Georgetown has also lost to, maybe comparable teams to the level of DePaul and Loyola Marymount and American. American's not really even up there with DePaul, but they lost to them. So they're allowing 78 points on the road, Tony. That's really one of the worst numbers in the country. Probably just maybe 20 or 30 spots from the bottom. They've lost three road games by double digits, and they're averaging less than 70 points offensively on the road, even though they're supposed to have a pretty good offense. I guess they do. DePaul isn't any great shakes, but they have had some okay wins at home. They beat UTEP by 21 points. They beat Loyola Chicago by 6 points in overtime. So that has to rank as a quality win for sure. Even though DePaul is just 6-7, they are 4-1 straight up at home. So they're going to have to cover a little bit of a number here. Both teams 0-2 in the Big East, riding three-game losing streaks overall. DePaul, they did lose to Texas A&M at home, but that was a pretty tough game. But DePaul, they do shoot their free throws quite well. In fact, they're about 10th in the nation in that category. And also, they shoot 35% from three-point range, an area where Georgetown definitely struggles defending the three, particularly on the road. So I've got, Javon Johnson, you figure Umoja Gibson, Earl Penn, they're probably good for 40 points or more between them because this one could up-tempo a bit. Now, the Hoyas do have the big man, Qudus Wahab, who probably is a kind of a Patrick Ewing project, I would think. But DePaul doesn't have necessarily someone to match up with his size, but I think they can do an okay job against Georgetown offensive players, Primo Spears and Brandon Murray. The problem I think with Wahab, he's not quite on par with a guy like Kalkbrenner, who really tore up DePaul in that last game on Christmas. The first Big East game ever to be played on Christmas. DePaul, they kind of hung in there. They actually got the money against Creighton in that one, in an 80-65 loss on the road. They were getting 15 and a half or even a tick more. So they actually got the money against Mindy's Blue Jays, one of her teams, certainly. So DePaul averages 83 points at home, and the way these teams tempo up, I think that just plays more into DePaul's hands. When you got two bad teams, I'd rather just lay a small number at home. They do shoot 48% from the field, 42% from three-point range at home. Those are both categories at home. So I think that's just why when I have two bad teams, I think they can get this cover here, Tony, by 4 points. Another good win I don't know about a good win. Minnesota, they're kind of down this year, but they did beat them in a tournament earlier this season. So I like DePaul in this one. Tony, I just don't think Georgetown right now, they're not transferring any quality onto the road at all. Home team dominated series. 5 of the last 7 meetings have been covered by the home team.
Yep, home team, no doubt about that. DePaul, a pretty good showing at home. 4-1 at home, hitting over 47%. So that's what you can bank on here. When you looked at Georgetown's defense, it's not been pretty. Last 5 games, even in conference, giving up 55% shooting.
Yeah, the numbers are bad, and again, like I said, really, the number of points that they allow on the road would rank right down there, I should say, as one of the worst teams in the country. DePaul is not anything special. Certainly, right now, these two teams will be hanging out at the bottom of the standings this season. But for me, when I have two bad teams and I'm laying just a small number, those are kind of more the favorites that I want to take than maybe laying something to a decent team that has some penchant of success on the road. I don't see that being the case here with the Hoyas. Ewing's going to be able to maybe call his own retirement if he ever doesn't want to coach. It might be tough to fire a guy like Patrick Ewing, but that season that they had, when he had that run a couple years ago and ended up in the tournament, I think that was a one-off, if you will. I don't see Georgetown being able to. If they haven't, if he hasn't been able to, get the recruits by now, and they are making a few moves on the transfer portal, but they're just such low to mid range guys that I can't see them really getting even any chemistry together right now. It's just not working out for Coach Ewing right now at Georgetown. So, yep, would have been a good game 40 years ago, Tony. Tonight, I know you're making fun of it. At least it's on FS2. It's got some coverage.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'll take it. I'll take DePaul tonight. Like I said, they've got to contain Spears and Murray, but I think they can do that tonight at home.
All right, Ramon here on DePaul Lane 4 here against Georgetown. This one to have a start time here of 8 Eastern time. All right, Ramon, let's take a look over at Tony'sPicks.com for today's action. Of course, Ramon put up some fantastic numbers as we see here. 2,928 units of profit NHL for 2022 document. But yesterday, coming in with a 6-0 in college hoops, a 2-0 NBA, 3-0 college football. These are the past 24-hour numbers right now. Ramon on absolute fire right now. Okay, Ramon, a lot of NBA up on the board, college hoops as well, NHL. We've got college football bowl still to go. What do you have? And of course, that NFL game no one's talking about because apparently it doesn't mean anything. So anyway, what do you have going over at Tony's Picks?
I'm involved in that NFL game. They were kind of teasing me in the chat because I know that Tennessee, I was trying to make it clear that they still are alive, and the chat was saying they didn't have anything to play for. I understood that. I mean, Mindy pointed it out perfectly, that Tennessee will have something to play for next week. So they've actually made another move at quarterback, going on a third quarterback here. Tonight it was announced they'll be switching quarterbacks again. And Dallas, look, they can still win the division, I guess, but they might be better off just making sure their players are rested. It would take an extraordinary effort to, have everything break their way to win the division. So they might just focus on getting this done, getting out in and out of there tonight. I've got the game up right there, a 3-pack of football games, including 2 college football games. You mentioned the 3-game sweep there yesterday in the bowls. So I'm going to bring you, 3 games in a football package up there today for $30. I've also got an NBA 3-pack. You mentioned the sweep that I had yesterday on the card. I got 3 games loaded up for $30 over there at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. And also, Tony, you mentioned NHL. Most of my action, like Minnie said, we're pretty well locked on a pretty big NHL card. I don't have anything up personally right now. I might by the time they end up dropping the puck, but all of our action is kind of together. We kind of clicked on the NHL card tonight, where we're actually doing some pretty good work. So I think we'll maybe focus there as a team together there. And this huge college basketball card, you may see late steam from me in this one. It's been pretty hard to tackle all these games here and make sure that I keep this streak rolling. So please be on the lookout for more action from me if you want to ride this streak right now. You mentioned 11-2 yesterday, and really smashed the card. So they're going to really keep it going here tonight at Tony'sPicks.com. And, well, I think we'll do so. I mean, let's roll.
That's right. Get on board. Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks. Great results as we talked about. 11-2 yesterday for Ramon in action with the football here. A 3-pack he puts together his NFL and college football bowls into a 3-pack. That's up on the board. Profit guarantee here at $30 a minute. Must turn a profit. Or the amount you purchase is credit back in your account for side credits. That is profit guarantee. Also in action, NBA 3-pack as well for Ramon Scott. So there you go with Ramon's plays. Also with the afternoon college basketball premium extra board. He's into the extra board tonight there with the plays as well. So Ramon in action tonight here on the college hoops, looking to bounce, to not bounce, but to continue that hot streak that he's put together there on over at Tony'sPicks.com Thursday afternoon action. So get signed up. Now, instead of buying these plays individually, you may consider the longer term passes, the ones that you see there in yellow. Ramon has a 3, 7, and 30 sports pass. Even up to a year, you can get all of Ramon's premium plays for that period of time you select. When you go to his handicap page and you make that purchase, I will note here the monthly pass includes the remainder of the bowl games, all the championship, all the playoff games, and championship games from college football. Of course, this will take you right through the divisional series of the NFL playoffs. And, of course, all his NBA, all his NHL, all his college hoops. That's all part of that 1 month all sports pass. When they restart UFC in January, that will also include any UFC plays. Also, Ramon does delve into European soccer at times, even South America and North America. If he not as much this time of the year, but if he happens to see something, he'll fire in. That's also part of it. That's why we say all sports. Every sport that we document over at Tony'sPicks.com is covered there with Ramon Scott there on the site. That 1 month pass, and it will say is a way to go instead of buying all the plays individually, and we'll save you some money here when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access Ramon's page by clicking the link you see in the description. Click the all cappers tab, and then you will land right on Ramon's page, and then just scroll down. You'll find all the plays there for the 1 day passes up there in the orange, and in the yellow, which are not profit guaranteed because they're sold at a great discount, are the longer term passes. So go ahead and get signed up there with Ramon over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can also see the pick ticker if you prefer a la carte. You can just buy the plays a la carte there with team versus team information right in the write up there. All right, Ramon. We also put together a Twitter account for you over at Tony's Picks Ramon, and of course that morning's team put in another big show with lots of content.
Yeah, we got a lot of games to get in, so we had a pretty big card to talk about a lot of games and have the chat going with all of our games as well. Yeah, tonight in college basketball, head on over to Tony's Picks Ramon, where you'll find my Twitter pick today. It comes to you in a late game out west between San Luis Obispo and Northridge. Check that one out and get another free winner over at Tony's Picks Ramon. We'll be back tomorrow, or Saturday, thank you, with another big show. Yeah, we'll give Mindy a chance to spend time again with her family. I don't do much. On New Year's Eve, I'm usually focused on the games a little bit, but that's just a reflection of me, not necessarily what's going on with the show. We'll be back again on Saturday and then resume on Monday, as she said. But really happy with the contributions from the chat, the amount of people continuing to watch. Our audience continues to grow. The YouTube hits continue to increase, and that's going to keep us doing the show. But one thing we do need from you is a little bit of support, so please subscribe to my packages over at Tony'sPicks.com or the Team Steam packages. Of course, we package up all of our consensus plays. If you missed the show, you can get our plays. You don't have to go through, even though they're free. You can go back and watch the show, get our consensus plays. We average several a day. You get just as much volume as kind of our personal accounts over there, but you can go to Tony'sPicks.com, click on the morning steam, and subscribe to those plays. 3 days, a weekend, kind of the same rates that you get from our premium plays. Even though they're absolutely free, if you want to go back, watch the shows on YouTube, listen to those podcasts Tony mentioned as well. Everything's on every platform and all that. You can do that. I don't mind. But if you're in a hurry, you don't want to do that kind of legwork, you can go over and subscribe to the plays, and we're pretty happy about that because people do that. Maybe they don't even catch the shows, and they just see that our record is pretty good. So that speaks for itself, and we appreciate your support. So if you want to do it that way, just know that those sales, that goes partially into our pockets, if you will. So with all due respect, Tony, on a little sales pitch there, we do appreciate that if anyone wants to subscribe to the plays that way, if they can't catch the show, they can certainly still get our premium consensus plays. The way it works, we preview each and every game on the major betting boards, as well as a handful of college games on the hardwood each day. And Mindy gives her analysis and pick. I already have my picks ready to go with the plays that I like the best. And if it happens to agree with Mindy, I just say, I agree, and here's some more tidbits, some analysis as to why. Or I pivot and maybe take a side or a total, not necessarily always opposite. I don't like to go opposite necessarily. We want to give you many picks. So why, you know, uh, pivot a little bit and give an extra pick there so we can get two picks for every show video that we make on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. No reason for me to waste one person's pick because I like the other side. Now, sometimes it doesn't work out that way. I've got a premium, say, on the total, and she likes one side. So maybe about 5 or 10% of the time, I just say, "Hey, got to disagree with you here," and we end up picking opposite. But not usually, because we want to get as much information and actionable betting information to you so that you can decide for yourself what you want to do, side or total. If you want to just tail us, that's fine. The record speaks for itself. You see the day that we put together yesterday combined. If you combine that 11-2 record with Mindy's 8-4, that's a pretty good day right there. You can certainly make a living going 19-6 or whatever it was. So appreciate everyone watching the show, the contributors to the chat room as well, Tony. That's part of the fun of it, really, is getting everyone involved and making it kind of a family deal, if you will.
That's right, family deal indeed. Appreciate all the chat response and participation for that morning's Steam team. So check them out Saturdays through Thursday here at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on our channel here. Off tomorrow, back on Saturday. And of course, Tony's Pick Ramon is the Twitter account. Then go ahead and subscribe there and retweet Ramon's picks. All right, Ramon, have yourself a great afternoon. We'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Thank you, Tony. See you then.
Yeah, Ramon Scott here.